Shocker! Get him! Get him! Give me a kiss! Give me a kiss!
What does it mean to be a man? A country boy will survive because you gotta know how to hunt and fish and provide for your family. But the bigger thing is being an example. As a man, you carry a lot of weight and burden on you as being the head of the household. You're trying to be a steady income. You're trying to guide. We want to know what we should do here, there, in every situation. And the thing is, like, when you try to control every single situation, you're not letting God take control. Guess what? I may think I'm getting what I want, but if it's not God's plan, it's not gonna be fruitful and multiply. You see guys that they go to the gym, they're strong, like it's a outward expression of strength. But like this whole weakness thing, it's looked on by men as like, hey, you cried, like you're a pansy, like Jesus wept. It's the shortest verse in the Bible. Like Jesus flipped over tables, like he let his emotions get involved. When you think about the pain that Jesus went through on the cross, and like he literally sat there on the cross and said, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Like that type of forgiveness, that willingness to die for someone that you're never going to meet. And guys say like, oh, I would die for my family. I'd wrestle a gunman to the ground. Like, okay, there's great valor in that. But if you were to get nailed to a cross for people you're never going to meet 10,000 years down the road, would you do it? And like that type of weakness, that emotion, when you think about that, like it's hard not to be emotional about Jesus. And like just seeing people get saved, that like your friends, your family, your kids, like seeing them accept Jesus and know it's the greatest decision that they'll ever make is emotional. Like vulnerability isn't a sin. Be a shoulder to cry on for that friend that's going through a hard time. We're brothers in Christ. I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. That's what a real man does. A real man is there in the trenches, fighting the battles. He's not just standing behind watching everything take place and saying like, all right, yeah, that was a good decision. Oh, I wouldn't have done that. Not Monday morning quarterbacking it. They're right there leading the whole way. Come here! Come on! For a man, like your pride is like at times it's who you are. Like it's I'm like guys boast about like the biggest deer they shot, or if they hit a hole in one, Zoomy, and how good they are at golfing. Like there's a pride thing that like, oh, I can do this better than you. And like in Christ, it's not a competition. Like the pride cometh before the fall. So a man that sits there and says, well, I don't need Jesus. I can do this all by myself. You're trying to carry a burden that's beyond your grasp. You can't understand that there is no way to heaven except through Christ. Like you're not going to be able to get there by yourself. You have to just surrender and take that moment of weakness and say, like, I surrender all. And it's hard for men to like think about like just getting down on their knees and giving up their identity, because they identify as this strong guy and like, oh, if I get saved, then I'm gonna have to change this and this and this about myself. And it's not true. Like if you get saved, you don't have to change those things about you. You're going to want to change those things about you. So you may think like, oh, my life's great right now. I've got this going to my job and I've got this with my wife and my kids. But like, where is it without Jesus? Like, what are you storing up in heaven? It's a matter of like, hey, God's bigger. He's greater. And what you have without him is nothing compared to what you will have with him.